I'm that cool. Hi everyone, my name's Sian, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you about my favourite TV shows. As well as reading, I spend an awful lot of my time watching TV shows. In fact, I waste an awful lot of my life watching TV shows. So I thought, why not share some of my favourite TV shows with you guys today. This video was actually inspired by Ish, so if you haven't seen her video, go watch it. I will leave a link to it down below, but she basically did a video where she talks about all of her favourite TV shows, and we actually have quite a few in common. So I thought I would do mine. Therefore I did. Honestly, I can't coherently talk about my favourite TV shows. I kind of just ramble and spill out my feels, but that's what good TV shows do to you, isn't it? So the first TV show that I want to talk to you about is The Walking Dead. My love for The Walking Dead has been an emotional rollercoaster. I was very, very, very late to The Walking Dead party. In fact, I think season 6 was the only season that I actually watched real time. But if you don't know, I have a serious unhealthy obsession with zombies, but it's not a normal obsession in the fact that I'm like, I love zombies, I must watch everything with zombies in it. It's more, I'm terrified of the idea of zombies, so I must watch everything that involves zombies so that I can have a super slick, organised plan and know what I'm dealing with and know all of the different types of potential zombies that could happen. I remember the first time that I saw The Walking Dead was during season 2, I think. I walked down, my dad was watching it, and it was a pretty gory scene that I walked in on, and sort of from that moment on it was kind of the TV show that every time it was on I wanted to watch it, but every time I watched it I wouldn't be able to sleep, so I'd sort of be up all night. My mum used to work nights and I'd be texting my mum like, Mum, I've watched The Walking Dead and I can't sleep, what am I gonna do? But one day I just bit the bullet, I started watching it and I just binge watched it, and I slowly got over my fear of The Walking Dead zombies, not zombies in general because I'm still afraid of zombies, but The Walking Dead has helped. I love it. I mean, I love it less at the moment. The season that's currently on is seriously disappointing, but we're not going to go into that. We're not going to do it. Just The Walking, it's such a good TV show when it was in its prime. I'm hoping that it will come back, but I love the characters. I love Rick. Fun fact, I serve Andrew Lincoln a few times at work. Actually, I've served him once, but he comes in work quite regularly, and every time he comes in I nearly pee my pants. It's great. But I just love the characters, I love the original storylines and just the world and the feeling of it, and yeah, it's such an obsession of mine that I watch it now when it comes out. I watched the season 6 premiere American time, so I stayed up until about 2 o'clock in the morning to watch it because I had to know what happened. Oh, we won't go into it. But yeah, I love it. I'm so obsessed with it. Next on the list is a TV show that I think most people adore, and that is Game of Thrones. Again, this is one that I've only recently just caught up with, so the recent season that was just out is the only season that I have been watching real time. I stayed up again until 2 o'clock in the morning to watch the finale of that season because I had to know what happened. I love this show, actual love. It's wonderful. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. The fantasy elements, the writing, the surprising deaths where you don't know who's gonna live and your favourite characters die all the time, and I just adore it. I love every single character on the show. Well, no, that's not true. I love most of the characters on the show, and I think it's so well done, and it's such an atmospheric show, and I cannot wait for the last season, and I can't believe I have to wait for so long, but I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be amazing, and I just can't wait, and I just hit myself in the face. I would probably say, favourite character wise, I love Jon Snow, but then who doesn't love Jon Snow? But I think last season just gone, Sansa really, really stood out for me. And she's just, her character arc is just going whoop, and I love her. It's such a good show, and if you haven't watched it yet and you've put off watching it because you're afraid of the hype or something stupid like that, then just, you need to know that you're missing out. Next, Vikings. The Vikings is, it's one of those shows that I honestly did not think I would like. My dad watched it, and then I heard everybody else was watching it, so I thought, right, I'm gonna give it a go, and oh my god, I love The Vikings. The Vikings is probably, at the moment, my favourite TV show. I love it. The way that they deal with the characters, the way it's so brutal, unapologetically brutal, and the storylines, and Ragnar, and just Lagatha, everybody in this TV show, they are all such strong, well-written characters, and I just adore it. It's so good. I don't have enough good words to describe the Vikings with. I'm so glad that it's back now. Season 5 is back. I'm watching it as it comes out, and I just, I honestly can't believe there are people that haven't watched the Vikings. That's all I'm going to say. It is fabulous. If you want a bloody, literally brutal TV show that doesn't hold back, that, it's steeped in history. I don't know how correct its history is, but it's still, you know, got the history timeline and the narrative and stuff like that, and I really like that element of it. And I'm obsessed with Norse mythology as well, so that is really, I just love it when they talk about Valhalla and Thor and Odin, and it just brings me so much joy when I'm watching it. I do occasionally have to pause it and take breaks because it can get a little bit brutal, but that is not a downside. That is like, oh, I love it. Next up on the list is slightly different from the last 3 that I've talked about, and it's actually a really, really old TV show. Really old. It's not out anymore, and that is Only Fools and Horses. This is probably my all-time favourite TV show. Like, I have obsessions that sort of come and go, but the Only Fools and Horses is always at the top. It's such a family favourite with my family. We all love it. So Only Fools and Horses is a comedy show, and it's a British comedy show, so I doubt, if you're American, I don't know if you'd have heard of it, but I'm pretty sure most British people know about Only Fools and Horses, and if you don't, then my god, you're missing out. It's so quintessentially British. It is my all-time favourite TV show. It's so funny. I love the humour of it. It's my kind of humour. The characters, Dowboy is just, it's one of the TV shows, because my whole family loves it, I've such warm feelings towards it, and every time I watch it, it just sort of makes me snuggle up and feel warm and happy, and yeah, it's just one of those TV shows that I will never ever get tired of watching, no matter how many times I've seen an episode. I love it, and it's one of the, it's like, Only Fools and Horses for me is what Friends is for most people. I know most of the words, and I just adore it. Next up, we have Stranger Things. Of course Stranger Things is on the list. I feel like this is on most people's lists nowadays, and I ain't ashamed to say that it's also on my list, because it's a bloody good TV show. When Stranger Things first came out, I didn't think, in all honesty, I would like it very much, because it's very sci-fi and I'm more sort of fantasy based, but it blew my mind. Just so good, so atmospheric. I love the music that's used in it. I love the kids, they're such good actors. I love the storyline. Everything about Stranger Things is spot on, and season 2 did not disappoint. It was so good. There are not enough episodes. I kind of almost wish, whenever you sort of have a new TV show come out and it's sort of an episode a week, although it's painful to wait a week, I actually think I prefer it after Stranger Things all come out at the same time on Netflix, because I was watching, I finished it within a day. So yeah, I can't wait for the next season. I love Stranger Things. Again, if you haven't watched Stranger Things yet because you're afraid of the hype, don't be. Watch it. Ignore it. Ignore the hype that surrounds it. Don't be afraid of it. Just get on this bandwagon and enjoy the ride. Another TV show that I want to talk to you all about is Peaky Blinders. This TV show blows my mind every time I watch a new episode. It is spot on. Now, I recently tried to get Sarah Jane to watch Peaky Blinders and she didn't like it, and I was severely disappointed in her, and our friendship suffered as a result of this, but we're going to ignore that. I adore Peaky Blinders. It's so well filmed. Just the way it's filmed, the music that they use in it, the atmosphere that they create. It's a really atmospheric TV show. If you don't know much about it, it's sort of based around gangsters during, I'm not sure what century it is, but it's a while ago, very, very long time ago. And I think that Peaky Blinders are actually a gang that is in history. It's sort of based loosely on them. And the main character, Tommy Shelby, is played by Cillian Murphy, who is spot on. They're all from Birmingham. I'm really sorry if I offended anybody with that accent, but yeah, they're set in Birmingham, and just Tom Hardy is also in it. He's in the later seasons, and the new season is coming out. Well, it's out right now. I'm a couple of episodes behind though, so if you love Peaky Blinders and you're watching it, do not spoil me on it. I love it. I love it. It's so good. I don't know what else to say about these TV shows other than I love them and they're so good. Another TV show that I want to mention as one that I love is Teen Wolf. Oh, Teen Wolf. I used to watch this with my sister until she got too cool for this kind of shit and stopped watching it. But Teen Wolf is the birth of my first ever ship. I ship Stydia so hardcore, you don't even know. I haven't watched the last season yet because I don't want it to end, and partly because I'm waiting for it to come out somewhere where I can actually watch it legally. Teen Wolf is one of those shows that I am aware of how cheesy and corny it is when it first started out, and I'm aware that it's not the best TV show in the world, but I love it anyway. I love the characters. Styles is my all-time favourite character, and like I said, like my first ever hardcore ship was born there. Stydia, I ship them so hard. It is great. It's corny, it's cheesy, it's funny at points, but it could also be really dark, and I think it's just one that I will always love. Next up on the long list of TV shows that I adore and spend most of my life watching is The 100. Again, I am a season behind on The 100 because I'm waiting for it to come out on Prime, but I went through a phase of being hardcore obsessed with The 100, like hardcore obsessed. I just love it. It is a book to TV show adaptation, and the TV show blows the books out of the water. It is one of those rare moments where the TV show is 10 times better than the books. Like, I mean 10 times better than the books. I've read the first book and it was a bit of a snooze fest. I only read it because I'd watched a TV show, so I thought I would see what it was like and if it sort of weighed up, and it don't. It really doesn't. The 100 is sort of based around 100 delinquent kids that are sent down from space to Earth to see if it can be lived on again, to see if it's habitable. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, anyway, just to see if they can live on Earth again. And they discover they can, but stuff kind of happens during the way. I mean, what do you expect when you send 100 delinquent kids down to see if they can repopulate the Earth? Like, Clark is such a good main character. She's headstrong, she's smart, she is independent, she knows what she wants, she is not afraid to assert her dominance. I love her, I think she's great. Bellamy is my all-time favourite character. I love Bellamy with a deep passion. I mean, here he is, here's Bellamy. I love Bellamy. He is just wonderful, and I ship Bellamy and Clark so much. I'm not ashamed to admit that I have cried over a few episodes of The 100. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've cried over most of these TV shows. But The 100, there is one episode I distinctly remember sobbing over, and I'm not going to spoil anything. It's one of the TV shows that I think, although it's kind of aimed at teens, kind of, I think adults can really enjoy it as well, because I know my uncle really likes it, and my mum and dad, I used to sit down with them and watch it when it came out on E4, until I got too impatient to wait, because obviously it comes out in America first and then it takes forever to come out in the UK, but I was far too impatient for that, although I am waiting for this season because I watched last season online and it kind of ruined it for me, the viewing experience, so I'm waiting for the latest season. But yeah, the character growth on this again is great, and some of the characters are just wonderful characters, and I just really enjoy it. And finally, I'm going to mention Gilmore Girls, because I lost a huge chunk of my time bloody binge watching Gilmore Girls. There are so many seasons, so many episodes, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I binge watched them all, and I loved every second of it, apart from the later series, because I don't like Logan. I don't like him. If you want to know, I'm a hardcore Jess and Rory shipper. Yep, hardcore ship them. I think Jess was treated terribly, and I love him, and he's one of my all-time favourite fictional characters now. Everybody knows this. I have an obsession with Jess Mariano. But I just love Gilmore Girls. It's got like humour to it. I think everybody knows about Gilmore Girls. It's Obviously more of like a soapy, well not soapy, just, I don't know how to describe Gilmore Girls, a comedy, there we go, it's a comedy. Yeah, I love it, it just makes me happy when I watch it. I love Lorelai. Rory, I did love her, she slowly goes like this for me, but Lorelai is my favourite character. She's kind of the reason why I stuck with it. And I just love it. It just makes me happy. It is a TV show that makes me happy when I watch it. So those are all the TV shows that I kind of wanted to mention today. They are not all of my favourite TV shows. Obviously I watch a lot more than this, but these are kind of the ones that stand out most to me when people are like, oh, what's your favourite TV show? These are the ones I love. If you have any recommendations for me, I would love to hear them because I need some new TV show recommendations. So let me know in the comments down below. I kind of have I like a wider range, but I mostly kind of like the darker fantasy based ones. So if you have any good recommendations for those, then I would love to hear them. I might leave some like honourable mentions in the comments down below because there are already some more that are popping into my head, but they're kind of more the British comedy shows, so like IT Crowd, stuff like that. Oh, I'm being human! I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've watched any TV shows down below and if you like any of them, and like I said, leave me some recommendations because I always love watching new TV shows. I will see you in my next one. Bye!